Hey everyone, it's Jacob here. So today we're gonna do just a little bit of like the start of a game that maybe you can continue and finish. This is just like an idea for what you can be doing for like how to create like moving objects and stuff for your code. So I'm gonna show you what I have. So right now I have running is like a little bit of the start of a Flappy Bird game. So this would be like one idea you can do. I just make sure to like continue on, change it, and add on to it. But like I'll show you how you can use these things to in your code. So for example, we'll have it falling, and there will be gravity. But when you press up, he bounces up to prevent from falling. And when he hits the ground, boop, he dead. And you can hear me pressing. You can't move no more. So how we'll be doing that is you gotta set up a bunch of variables first. So you gotta have gravity. If I can spell things right today. Gravity. So how this would work is you want gravity to slowly be moving down, but adding on to the item's value. So like let's say its Y position is like 157. You want to slowly be able to add on to it so it keeps on moving down. But what you need is you need to be able to figure out how to be able to add on to that in case you want to jump up. So gravity could equal 0.0. We'll do 0.01 because I tested that out, and that is what I found for at least like what I'm doing. That'd be helpful. So you also want so there's multiple ways to type it out, but I just do v speed. So that means vertical speed. So up and down, it would be the oops, I did that wrong. V speed. So that would be up and down, and that's how fast it's moving at that point. So since at the start it's moving 0, okay, and then we'll throw in our image for now, and we'll do, is there a, I don't know, more make sensible, I guess we'll do a penguin. I think that's a penguin. I'm not actually sure what that is, but okay. So we'll add that dude in. I just want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm typing. Here, I'll zoom in on my code. That's not what I wanted. Like, I mean, that works. Okay, yeah, we'll just do that. That looks weird, but it works. Okay, so we got our gravity is equal to 0.1 and vertical speed is 0. Okay, now next what you need to do is, oops, I closed out of my project. Oh geez, this is going great. Now what you need to do is you need to have it set up that you're gonna have your bird or whatever character it is to have a Y position that's moving up and down. So I like to call them sprites or whatever. You can do objects. Like I usually label mine because then it makes it more clear what it is then. So we'll do an object bird Y. So this is like how I label it like this, like I said, so you know what kind of object or item it is. So like for example, if it was like a button, I would do like B underscore and then Y is capitalized so I can just see it better. Okay? And then we'll also set that to 0. So what you need to do for this one is it needs to be constantly be running, but also it can't be a when loop or a while loop in this case, because otherwise you can't break out of it. You'd have to set something to be false. You want it to be running, but then also being able to run other things. So we'll be using a timed loop. And if you haven't used a timed loop before, basically it just, if you go to the C examples, which I like to do, because then you can better understand it, it'll even give you some examples of what to do. So for time loop, it'd be every 500 milliseconds, so that's what's inside of a second, it would be running. And then inside, you'd put a function. So like this one, this would be var x and y, move horizontally and vertically. So basically, this thing would be moving all around the screen until it gets up to 10, and then it would stop the time loop. So what we're going to do is a timed loop, and we're going to set this one for like 17 milliseconds is what I found is decent. Function, and then brackets, and open that up, and don't forget your semicolon at the end. So what we need is we need to start up with the v speed. So basically this is setting up to say it's going to take that number and move it up and down. So once it's adding up and down, so you want to be able to add on to it, so you can do v speed plus equals gravity like that, and then after that you want to and set the v speed equals gravity. Then you want to set the property. You have to set the property of image. Oh, I forgot to name these. Oopsie. So we'll name it O underscore bird, like that. O underscore bird, and then we'll set its y. So we want to use its y, and then we're setting it to O underscore bird y. And basically what this is saying is the object's bird, we're setting this object's bird, the bird, its y position to equal to this variable var bird y. Okay, like that. So then once we do that, we can just easily say underscore bird y equals, oh my bad, plus equals. So if you don't know what this does, it adds on to continuously on top of this, so it'll just repeatedly add on what to the value v speed. And then lastly what we need to do is set position to object bird 1, and then what I just did was I just set like a random x position. For example, if you wanted to do like a more like have a character move up, down, left, and right, you'd have to kind of do the same thing. You'd have to create a bird X, and if you guys want that, I can make a video on how to do all key inputs for left and right and up and down, like more of a, I guess like an RPG or something like that. And then we want to do O bird Y like that, and then if I believe we did everything right, it should automatically boop drop the bird with gravity. So that's great and all, but now our problem is we don't have any way to say stop it when it's here, so we need to be able to detect a collision. So I just created like a, since you only really, for now, you only need one collision, and that's this ground floor. You could do a collision up here, but you don't have to. I would recommend it, but I want you guys to figure that out for yourselves and experiment with it. So we're going to go back up to our variables, and we're going to do two variables. We'll add this one in just for now. We'll call it jump. Oh my goodness. Jump. And we'll set that to -5. So why we're setting it to -5 is because if you look at this, the y's 0 is up here, if you guys remember. So what we need to do is subtract from that value to have it go up here. So as he's decreasing, he's going to jump back up, okay? So that would have to subtract. And then our last one is we're going to call it dead. So this one is basically if he just lands on the ground, boop, he's dead. Okay? And we'll set that to false for now. So for now, you can do it like this. We can do an on event. Granted, for the AP project, you can't only use on events. You'd have to create time loops and functions and stuff. But for now, this is like more of a basic way. I can go more in depth. Key down. Oops. Key down. And then function. Okay. Don't forget your semicolon. So this part's easy. All you gotta do, vSpeed equals jump. Alright. So now that we have that, let's test that. So basically, what this is saying is if any key is pressed, just add on the jump. You can set it to different things. So like, for example, if you only wanted it to be, you'd have to go event, and then you'd say if event dot key equals, I think 2 equals, and then up. I believe this is how you would do it. I'm just kind of freelancing right now. Oh, silly me. Up. It should only use the up arrow. Well, that didn't work. Alright, I figured out what my problem was. So up here on the on event, we had it set to O_bird. So what the problem is, you need to set it to screen 1. So that's because on the screen, you're pressing the key, not on the object. I accidentally missed that. That's on my fault, my bad. So now what you do is if event dot key, oh yep, don't forget your brackets, equals up, and then inside of that you can say what we'll do is we'll do var key, we'll set key to true. So that might accidentally got cut out, so make sure you add in a key variable. So then what you'd do down here in the timed loop, you'd set if key equals true. Oh my goodness, don't forget your brackets. It's this kind of day. If key equals true, then we'll set vSpeed equal to jump. But then also, you gotta set key back to false. Okay? Because then you don't have open logic, and this can be reused. Okay? And there's multiple ways to do this. You can use if event key, up, down, left, right for multiple things. Set it to true, false. Or you can do vSpeed inside of here, but then otherwise, if you just hold it down, it'll just shoot straight up. So this way, it's just simpler. At least this is the way I like it, and then you can build off of this easier, in my personal opinion. All right. So then now, if everything's set, when we press the up arrow, we go up. And you can see, even if I hold it, there's a little bit of a bounce down. So you will need to probably make sure you do add boundaries on the top. But I'll show you how to do it on the bottom, just so you can get started. Alright? So the last thing we'll do is we'll add in another if statement. So we'll actually, first we'll do, we'll check a function down here. We'll do another one. This one's going to be called function check death. Okay, and we don't need any thing in there. So if O underscore bird Y is greater than or equal to, because if it hits here, we want it set to it, okay? Because not necessarily once it hits around here, it may clip through here, even though once it hits like a certain point, it's going to stop. But if you want to hit at a pinpoint position, I'd use equal to. For equal to, we'll do, what I found 360 works, even though it's like 445 about. It detects it around in the middle. And then all we got to do is say death, dead, equals true. And then what we can do is set this all if dead equals true. We can just say stop time to loop. Just like that. Oh. Today is not my day for these brackets. So all we gotta do now, and at the top, we can do check death, and there you go. And there we go. See, no more movement, can't jump. And we can just continue for a while, jump up and down. And that is the start to a Flappy Bird game with some slightly advanced features. Okay? So if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to ask me. I'm open pretty much all the time. So this should be pretty straightforward. And if you want me to continue doing some of these lessons, feel free to say what you want me to help with. I can do a lot of things. So, but if you also have questions about your own projects and stuff, I believe I can give hints and helpful guidance on what you should do. So that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.